I left Benfica again after 3 years because I got an offer from Sampdoria in Genoa, Italy again. And the reason why I came there was that Mancini and Vialli at that time, Gianluca Vialli, had got in their heads that they wanted me as a coach. I don't think it was the chairman, the owner, who wanted me. It was these two players. So I signed, and still Italian football the best in the world. I signed for them, and then I should start working some months later. And the chairman of Sampdoria phoned me and said, I cannot compete any longer with Milan, Juventus and Inter. I have to start to sell players. So tomorrow he said, unfortunately, Sven, I'm going to sell Vialli to Juventus. And that's what he did. And he said, if you want to come, you're more than welcome. If you want to change your mind, you are free to do that. But I went there, and there were 5 very lucky years. Sampdoria was like a family club. I think we won only 1 title, the Italian Cup, in 5 years, but we were 2nd, 3rd in the league. And we had some really good players, and I liked that time. I was in Sampdoria for 5 years, and after these 5 years I thought, and the club thought as well, it's time, Sven, to move. So then it became Lazio, and I was there for 3 years. I think we won 7 titles, something like that, and very good, excellent. And the chairman was brilliant. He did almost everything I asked him to do. We bought fantastic players, and we got a super team, and we won a lot. So it was a good time, and I always remember that time in my career. I changed some players who'd been there for a long time and didn't have the right mentality, I thought. Beppe Signori was one of them. He was a captain, he was the best goal scorer, he played for the national team. But he's been there for many years without any success, and he was not positive. I went to the chairman one day and said, we have to sell Signori. And I thought he got a heart attack. He said, no, you're joking, Sven, he said. That's not possible. He's our captain and best player. He's a king in this city amongst the fans. Yeah, but I said he's not the right one if we want to win trophies. And I think it took a couple of weeks, and I every day was on it. Selling. Suddenly he did it, and the fans got absolutely crazy. They hated me. They wanted to kill me, I think. And we sold him Thursday, Friday. Sunday we had Udinese at home, and we lost that game. Ooh, hard times. So next training, I couldn't come into the training ground because it was blocked by supporters, no training. The police were there, but they couldn't handle the situation. The fans had climbed over the walls and invaded the training pitch, so no training. They were sitting on my Volvo banging. He didn't think we should win, and I could win anything. So I wanted to change him and some other players, and took in fantastic players like Veron, like Mihailovic, Mancini, great players, and it became a winning team. Some month later, or say half a year later, we won the first trophy, and after that we won 6 more. And no one said anything about Signori anymore. They still remember him in Lazio because he was a great player, but no one told me we should have kept him anymore. We were a lot of points after Juventus, but I still said to the players, we can win this. I don't know how many players thought it was possible. The owner, he said, Sven, it's gone again. No, I said, we can still win it. And we started to play from good football to brilliant football. And I think we played a lot of games without losing any games, and just went one way, win after win after win. And Juventus started to struggle a little bit. So We took in everything, and everything was decided last game. Our game was finished. We won it, and we would be champion if Juventus didn't win in Perugia. And in halftime, Perugia-Juventus, it was raining so heavily, so the game was delayed almost for 1 hour. And at that game, Collina was a referee. Collina, a great referee. And Juventus, they said, because they were losing 1-0, Juventus said, new game, another day. And Collina was strong. I think any other referee would have said okay to Juventus another day. Collina said, we wait. And they did, and we were listening to that game in radio from our dressing room. And they couldn't score, so we were the champions. Strange way, but beautiful. Beautiful day. We had so many players who could win a game for themselves. And for example, we had a defender, central defender, who could win the game, Mihailovic. Just give him a free kick. Well, he had at that time the best left foot in the world. Then, of course, players like Nedved, Mancini, Veron, Salas, of course. But anyone could score a goal there. And they did. And above all, it was a team with not one leader. It was a team with 11 leaders, all of them. And if you take what they're doing today, Mancini is a great coach, Diego Simeone, great coach. I had him as a midfielder. Almeida, great coach. Nesta been a coach as well. So fantastic. And you could see that. And they were all winners. And they believed we can do it, we can win. We won the league on Sunday. And I think it was Wednesday after, it was a final in Italian Cup. And we played Inter away with Lippi. And I remember I was speaking to Lippi, and Lippi said, now you've been winning everything, let us win. I said, I'm sure you will win because we haven't really prepared the game because everything is crazy. But I remember in the day before in the dressing room, I said, if you are professional, you go out and you go out fighting. And they did, and we won. And I think that was a really winning mentality. They came out there, and we're going to have that trophy as well. And from what I took over there, they didn't have any winning mentality. It became in these years, and that was beautiful. I appreciate that win more than the league, because the way they did it. In football, we talk a lot about formation, 4-4-2, 3-5-2, whatever it is. 4 in the back line, 3 in the back line, 2 strikers, 3 strikers, 1 striker. And that's going on for ever, I would say. And for me, when I started as a coach, the system was everything. 4-4-2 with Gothenburg. If it's 1-0 for my team, 5 minutes to go, a striker injured, I took him out, of course, and put in a new striker. Never a midfielder. So the system was, for me, absolutely the most important. By the time I moved outside Sweden, had big famous players, I started to change a little. System is always important, but the players are the most important. So if you have really good football players, make the system for them, not the opposite. Because if you have players like Veron, like Mancini, to press, to be very aggressive, it's not their way. So you can't really expect them to do that. So if you stick to the system, very, very aggressive and so on, you can't take these kind of players. But these two, they win football games for you, for sure. every day, more or less. So by the time I thought I have to get the players I want, and after that I'm doing the system which suits them. I was in Lazio and I was going to a mini holiday, or I was at a mini holiday because it was national team playing, and of course club teams, they had 2-3 days off. I got a phone call from England, from Old Wembley, a man called Ethel Still. He said, I'm at Wembley, I just saw England losing against Germany, 1-0, a qualification game for the World Cup 2002. And he said, would you be interested in taking the England job? I said, you're joking, Ethel. You know that's not possible at all. Well, you can always try, he said. I'm here with Adam Crucier and David Dean, who was one of the Arsenal guy, of course, but he was also on the board in the national team. And Keegan has just resigned. Well, I didn't. Goodbye. But 1-2 days later, Adam Crucier phoned me and asked, are you interested to take over that job? Yeah, I said, of course I would be that. Even if I had Lazio, but England is, I mean, it's the biggest you can have. Probably the best football job, the most famous and the biggest you can have. When you have players, you can see that they're tactically very good, some of the players. And if you take big players I had, take one today, for example, Frank Lampard, tactically very good. Even Steven Gerrard, tactically very good. In Italy, Ancelotti, I had him for 3 years in Roma. I made him captain. And you could understand that very nice guy, very seriously, extremely professional, always interested, asking me, why did we do that on training? What are we going to do tomorrow? And things like that. So you could understand he will be a coach. And he became a very good coach. The same with Mancini. I think Mancini was a coach even when he was a player. He coached on the pitch, he told the players what to do and what not to do. So sometimes you can understand that Diego Simeone, tactically extremely good. But sometimes I'm surprised. I had some other players who got famous coaches. Sergio Conceição, I had in Lazio. He became a very good coach in Porto. If you had asked me when he was a player, I wouldn't have no chance, I would say. But here you are.